cool. So I'm going to be jumping on with Amelia soon, so I'm sure that she'll pop up. But how are we all doing? I'll give you actually a couple of minutes to jump on before I start asking questions. The birds are waking up. Morning. So I'm just waiting for Amelia to jump on, but it always takes a minute for this to load. Ah, there she is.
Hello, hello.
Hello. It's been a little while since I've seen your beautiful face. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm still a little bit tired. I was having really weird trouble trying to join. It just kept throwing me off. It kept kicking me off, and it kept saying my comment couldn't post.
Oh, that's so strange.
Yeah,
I
there's some
don't know.
super strange like 4D tech stuff going on at the moment, but it's all good.
Excuse me. I love your hair, by the way. I see that there's been a little bit of a change there. It's very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happens when Amelia doesn't have access to her hairdresser. She starts doing weird
DIY.
and wonderful things.
I love it. I
And
love
it's
it. What?
constantly evolving because like right now it's light blue, so I've got like this whole like light blue thing going on, but I already like my angels are like, why don't we add some dark green up the top and a bit more turquoise on the ends? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That's so beautiful.
Yeah, how have you been, my darling?
Yeah, I've been pretty good. Last week I was a little bit, yeah, I had like 2 days where my energy was like super zapped, but I also had my period. So I guess like there was the combination and then the combination of what's happening because I've been cruising and I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not like getting hit by this. I know so many people that do our work that are like, oh, it's been huge. And I'm like, I'm not feeling a lot. What's going
Here's
on?
the
And then
thing,
I got
honey.
my,
The violets are not feeling a lot
right,
physically.
okay. Yeah,
The violets are not physically feeling as drained. You're able
yeah,
to, you might have it at worst for like 2 days, but
yeah,
then you can shake it off.
yeah.
Um, but us blues, we're like literally like
Mm,
it's. I think because the meditation we did on 4-4, the blues really held that,
yeah,
and the violets, it was almost like their first day in that stuff, and
yeah,
so the violets helped, but the blues, like I know of a blue that has never spoken light language and she did the meditation on 4-4 and she was like doing it, and that so that does, the blues really gave it everything they could. That's why it worked.
mm,
And that's why immediately after that, it's now officially we're in the violet takeover time,
yeah. It's
and
like we
it's
tap in. Now it's
yeah,
our job to carry you guys for a while,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
we come together. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I feel it like that because I do see, and I see as well like the ones that are really active in the arena of sharing the darkness. It's like they are almost out of steam. And it's like, all right, then we come in and we take over, and it's like now we go in this way because people are seeing this. But what do we do with that once we see it? Because
yes.
you gotta actually, you can't sit in it for too long. Like you gotta be aware of it, but you gotta have an ability to, or have things in place to be able to move into the next because we can't get consumed in that.
Yeah,
So
no, so that is what they wanted me to talk about today. And that's why, obviously, if you ever see me doing one of these on my bed, it's because I am exhausted, but
mm,
from the other day in my hammock with my sunglasses, like I could barely
yeah,
speak.
yeah,
But the thing is this is what they want me to talk about because there is a plan. There is an actual plan, people. So, um, you are to become there's a word they were just giving me. Oh, I think it began with C, but it was like you need a comprehensive learning of what's going on in the world. first and
Mm-hmm.
foremost. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to be able to sit there and say to yourself, yeah, I have a pretty good idea of what's going on. And what I mean is by watching a couple of these documentaries that does the whole round robin, that does the government and a bit of about fluoride and a little bit about the satanic blah blah and a little bit about the this and that. So you've gotten this very well-rounded knowledge that's up to date. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see a lot of the conspiracy people that are excited that this stuff's finally coming out, a lot of the information they learned from was out of date. And
Yeah.
so the key thing is get really up to date. That's why on Empress Evolution, I've got a full highlights thing that says research with a little man with the magnifying glass. And it literally means these are the ones to watch, guys. If you watch all of these, you know everything you need to know. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. The journey's over. No more.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to do anymore. You're good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can keep up with the blog on Simon Parks's page, but other than that, you know, you might post something every few days, a little picture, a little mention, but you're good. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, once you've done that thorough knowledge, and you do invest, a week, a few hours in a week, you invest that time, work your way through them all, but then you know it. Now you're able to start thinking of who in your life you can suggest these things to. The best thing about these documentaries is these ones are literally muggle friendly, and so you do want to share them with your brothers and your sisters and your friends and your colleagues, because these ones are muggle friendly. And when I say muggle friendly, they're not expecting you to be super woo woo and understanding about the fifth dimension and the angelic realms of the wands of the forest people. You don't need all that shit. You just need to just watch it and be like, if you live here and you pay taxes, you should know who you're paying them to. Here we go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So first thing, fundamental, comprehensive, that was the word, comprehensive understanding of what's going on currently, using information that's up to date. Okay. Yeah. Key points there. Once you've done that, now it's time to now start learning a little bit of the galactic history, learning more about sovereignty and not allowing these powers that are still holding on to have any power over you. So being able to speak out like a sovereignty prayer and understand the power of it. So you need to do your comprehensive knowledge, then start learning about the galactic history and the sovereignty, understanding more about the guardian teachings, things like that. At that point, then it's time where you can really then go back to 5D, which is where a lot of our girls are most comfortable, because this is like coming out of the nice house and having to run around in the rain and pick up your washing off the line in the rain. It's not fun, okay? But it's necessary.
Absolutely. And
we
can't bypass it, because I think as well, the people that feel comfortable in the 5D, it's like there is almost this tendency to spiritually bypass, but we cannot do that, because we have to physically do the cleaning of house. Otherwise this doesn't do what it needs to do. So it's like you have to be able to be comfortable with the uncomfortable and know that you have.
Oh, sorry, I have to interrupt. Me and my twin both wrote that on our pages within like 2 weeks of each other. It was really weird. I wrote be comfortable with being uncomfortable, and then he put a post up
really?
being uncomfortable, and I put a post up
message.
showing everybody that me and him did it. But yeah, so the thing is, yes, 5D girls, we know you're like a princess in fairyland in the pink fluffy house, but we do need to go out in the lightning and the rain and pick up our clothes off of the thing, because those silk dresses are not going to do well in the storm. So go get them. So that's what you can do. But you don't have to stay out there forever. You don't have to spend the night in the rain. You don't have to roll around in the mud. You don't have to climb trees. You just need to collect your washing and go inside, but you still have to do it. So out of 1 week, invest 4 or 5 hours, watch all these things, learn from the people that are being guided to you. You don't have to really go super off on your own tangent, and you all know obviously that you are more than welcome to do that, you know what I'm saying, and to do more, but definitely start with the ones that have been recommended by those that are in the know. It's a good way to do it, okay? And there's starting to be like this real cohesion between those in the know. Like if you go to Simon Parks's recent video with a lady called Magenta Pixie, on the bottom of that he's actually recommending the Eisenhower daughter video, which I was also mentioning, the fall of the cabal, which I've also mentioned, Dr. Buttar, that I've also mentioned. So you're beginning to see, when you see resonance between experts, where the experts are respecting the other experts and recommending the other experts, and it's all becoming this circle and this cycle, you start to say, okay, I'm in the right place. You know, you're in the right place. And you know the information's up to date. So once you have there, now you've started looking into the galactic history a bit more, you're looking more into the sovereignty stuff. Now you can go back to 5D. And in 5D, now what your job is to do. So imagine you have jobs. Let's imagine week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Week 1, get your comprehensive knowledge and education done, so you know what the fuck is going on, you know all the nasty stuff, so you know about it, so that it doesn't matter if you see it on a great big widescreen TV, it's not going to shock you because you bloody know already. Okay, so this is the first thing, and you'll be able to calm others because you've had a chance to integrate this information, you've had a chance to let it dissolve within you, so that it can't hit you like a bat when it happens, because it's going to happen. It's only a matter of time. And the more people that have already done this sort of dissolution phase, it's going to make it a lot easier, because we're going to need all of you guys as shock absorbers. This is part of the plan, is to have the shock absorbers get prepped, so that when we go through the shaky bit, the shock absorbers can stop it from shaking so much, so it will be okay. So that's your week 1. Week 2.
Sorry, can I just add something to that? I think that people also just need to be really mindful that they're taking excellent care of themselves when they're doing that. So make sure that you're still moving your body, you're eating well, that you're sleeping plenty and resting if you need to rest, that you don't just, you know, do that in amongst everything else and still attempt to live at a really high pace, because you need to be fully there for it to work.
So the thing is that basically, I want everyone to look at this like you've got a week off from work and you've got 5 movies that you want to watch.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
This isn't some like sitting up sweating till 4 a.m. and I haven't eaten yet, and I haven't cleaned my house, and the dishwasher's not emptied, and oh, I can't even do some push-ups. Chill the fuck out, everybody, breathe.
Yeah, okay. Because that's what happens though. People do that because they think that that's then their responsibility and their job. So they
no, this is not intense. This isn't intense. It's 5 to 6 hours of video time to do.
Awesome.
An hour a day for 5 days and 2 days off. That's week 1. Okay, so everyone be aware. One of my lovely girls just said, what do you mean when you say it's going to happen? What exactly? What's going to happen is the information about the satanic paedophile ring that's been running our planet is going to become front page and front page news and live at 5 Fox News and BBC News and all that stuff at some point very soon. And when it does, the muggles are going to be shook. You know, they're going to find out that Obama was partaking in this stuff. So, you know, that's going to create a lot of issues. And there's people, it's going to be shocking. People are going to be shocked. A lot of the people they worship and look up to are satanic pedophiles. That's not going to be a fun thing to swallow. So if you're already aware of it, because that's all you're doing is becoming aware of who it is and what they get up to and the nasty shit and why they do it, and just understand them. That's it. That's it. So that was our week 1. So is everyone clear on week 1? So yes, absolute self-care. You just got 5 movies to watch. That's it. You don't have to do all this crazy shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Then week 2, now spend a bit of time on galactic history and sovereignty and the Guardian teachings. Okay. Just do a little bit of research on that. Again, hour a day. That's enough. Now let's go on to week 3. Week 3, we can go back to Fairyland and go back into 5D. And in 5D, an hour a day, spend time visualizing the future that you want to see in the world. And if you do want to watch some videos, I recommend watching the Venus Project and the same one I mentioned last time, the Venus Project and the one with the Zeitgeist Addendum. Oh darling, do you want to put my thingy up on here so they can find it?
Yes, I should.
Yeah, so this is week 3, guys. Zeitgeist Addendum and Venus Project, and then lots of meditation about visualizing this new world that's going to be very beautiful. Okay. And now we're on week 4. Week 4 is just maintain these levels. I can let you know of something that can be done in week 4, but if you haven't done week 1, 2, and 3, you're going to struggle with something that would be appropriate for week 4. Week 4 will be about unity consciousness and us being able to integrate the darkest parts of our society. And is it working? Oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, no, that's perfect. I think I see it. Have you just pinned it? Just hasn't pinned.
Yeah, just pinned it then.
There we are. Yeah. So really week 4 can just be maintaining. But if you're ready for one more step and you're like, yeah, Amelia, I want to do some hard shit, then what you can do is focus on integrating the dark parts of humanity. So the same way that when we do work on self, we integrate our dark parts, we go and face them, we look at them, we stop shaming ourselves, we stop guilting ourselves, we stop fearing ourselves, we stop hating ourselves, we remove all those negative emotions. That is something that you want to ensure that that's all complete in week 4. That you've really integrated all of the dark within you. And when I say integrated, what I mean is actually gone in and dissolved the ego through heavy, deep forgiveness. Once you've completed that, there's one more step, a bonus week for those that want to be like, you know, really doing some extra work. So let's go into week 5. The bonus week 5 will be forgiving the monsters.
Yeah.
So the same monsters that you learned about in week 1, we're going to forgive them. Why are we going to forgive them? Because just like how we have to forgive our stupid mistakes that we made in our lives and our things that we've done wrong and bad so that our ego does not have food to live on, we actually need to do that collectively. We're not saying what they did was okay, and we're not letting them off the hook, and we're not telling them we want to be that we want them to be our friends, and we certainly don't fucking want them to be our leaders. But we're releasing it because we don't want it to any longer be a part of the collective consciousness. So we're releasing it so that we can move fully into love and unity consciousness. And if they want to do whatever work, which would be a lot of work to try and undo some of the disgustingness, we will be prepared to allow them to do what they need to do, you know. And if they want to top themselves and disappear and commit suicide, that's perfectly fine too. It's up to them, you know. But we are going to say to them, we love you and we forgive you, but you ain't doing any of that shit no more. Basically. So there is a thorough guide for the next 5 weeks, guys, of how you can ride through this. Now, week 4, where I talk about integrating your dark, though, that could take a little bit longer than a week, but you could at least be focusing on it at that time. That's the area that I specialize in with my clients. I do like a 6-week program where I help them clear out all of the darkness and understand the darkness that's within them so it no longer can control them. But you can definitely start working on that. And then obviously if someone wants to do that work right now and this feels resonating towards them, then they can just obviously book and I'll have a chat with them. And then the same thing, you know, it's that's the area that you can help with a number of these areas, really, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's that whole process, you know, it depends where you're at, because you're going to find some of it a lot easier than others. You might even find that uncovering stuff is really easy, but then when it comes to, you know, week 3, where you've got to be like, okay, what do I need to do next? That could be where you hit your road bump. It could be the fact that you need to then go to 5D, that you actually have some kind of attachment to actually liking or being comfortable with the darkness, because sometimes that can happen too. We're so familiar with it and we're so focused on it that we actually, well, what does this not look like if we don't have this anymore? What if we are light? What if we do have access to being who we really are sometimes? So there are loads of different avenues that I can play in, but for me it's more just the thing that I've continually been returning back to is that I'm to hold steady in the light, and that's where I'm taking people. You know, yes, they need to go through this process, but I know that I'm not on the front lines of some of the uncovering of things because that is not my role in this life. I'm there to support those and hold the energy for those that are on the front lines so that they don't get consumed by it. And it's the same for people that are going through their stuff. I'm not going to get consumed in it. I'll
Mhm.
hold steady for you. I'll show you what it looks like, excuse me, to go over there, to move through it, but to stay in your light as you do so, because you don't have to become it. It is not yours to carry. It is
No.
yours to know about. It is yours to connect to and realize that we have all played a role in this as human beings and that we have allowed these people to be in the positions that they are because it's been comfortable for us as well, because not questioning is something that we, many of the humans of this world, have been okay with doing because it's easy.
Mhm.
And now it's like we have to take responsibility that we have had a role in this by being complicit, by being comfortable, excuse me, and not wanting to go there. So now it's really that time of what we also, there's the collective forgiveness, but there's our self forgiveness of going, we didn't have, we weren't responsible. We weren't showing up for ourselves and asking questions because we were okay with living a life that was, you know, told to us was right. So I
Yeah.
think that's really my thing is, yeah, getting people to also land in that level of self forgiveness and then self responsibility, because moving forward we all need to excuse me, there's a lot of happening here.
I'm doing it on purpose, not in. No, I was holding back because it's because what you're saying they don't want you to say. So I'm letting you keep going until you can't do any more, and then I'll jump in.
Yeah. You know, so there's that self responsibility, and we need to be self responsible because that is the only way that we are all ever going to thrive is if we show up for ourselves, because it is not someone else's responsibility to save us or to teach us how to thrive. We need to initiate that within ourselves, and that is where the collective get to come together and experience that too, because it's not one person carrying more than the other. And we've been doing that and allowing that for a really long time. Oh, you deal with that. I don't want to look at that because that's nasty. Oh, that, like, we can't see that people are starving, or we can't see that that's happening over there. It's like we get to live such comfortable lives, but is it really comfortable? And that's what's happening now. We're asking those questions, and what we're finding out is that there is so much more going on to what we first thought. And
Yeah.
from there, it's, you know, again, it's always going to come back to self responsibility, self ownership. That is going to create collective change. And I think that's the
Absolutely.
loop in full circle.
Yeah. And the thing is, in week 4, when we talk about doing that healing work where you do a lot of deep forgiveness on yourself and others, that's also part of that is owning everything. Owning that everything in your life right now is a result of you and your decisions. Everything. Own all
Mm-hmm.
of it. Own it.
Mm-hmm.
Own it. Own it. Well, the same thing is what you're talking about collectively. Although to start with, we just can't. There's so many people that this information is so shocking to. I am just very conscious of the fact that I learned all of this over 10 years ago. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's why I'm not shocked. But for
Mm-hmm.
everybody else, this is a massive deal. But that's why there is us blue flames that did learn this. There's a few blue
Mm-hmm.
flames, and that's why we're the ones that are out here talking, because
Mm-hmm.
we had plenty of time to integrate this and to understand it. We know what's the truth. We know what isn't, and we know, and that's why we're able to show you guys, like, here, pull back the curtain, go have a look, you know.
Mm-hmm.
um but I do know that before we start taking sort of ownership of this happening, we just have to allow them to actually know what the this is first. Knowing the this
Yeah, totally.
is
Totally.
definitely, you know, so I hope everybody is actually, you know, and anyone who just joins us, like, I've given an actual 5-week breakdown of how to spend the
Mm-hmm.
next 5 weeks if you want to evolve and grow to the maximum extent, and for this to be as painless as possible. A few
Mm-hmm.
other tips: do not do this research at night,
Yeah.
do it in the day. Morning is best. If you're going to watch one of these things where you learn about the satanic cabal, put it on in the morning, then have
Yeah.
some lunch, and then go outside and run around with your dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is
Yeah.
not evening work. You are not being, I don't want any martyrs putting themselves through this stuff. So, in fact, if anybody watches any of this satanic cabal stuff after 7 p.m., you're fucking stupid. Stop it.
Take that.
Because, yes, and because
Mm-hmm.
this is not going to help you.
No.
You're not being brave for the collective. You are being sucked into a darkness within that's getting high off this, which kicks your adrenals in, and then you end up not sleeping well and you have nightmares. That's not helping anybody. Okay, guys? So after 7 o'clock, I want it to be butterflies and rainbows, whatever that looks like for you. Okay? So that's important. But remember, this isn't an ongoing slog. The information isn't going to just keep coming. If you follow the information that I'm suggesting, you only need to watch this 4 or 5 different documentaries, different interviews, and you will have such a comprehensive view that you will be one of the most knowledgeable people on the planet right now, just through spending 5 or 6 hours, because I've handpicked and cherry-picked the most advanced people on the planet, some of which I've been following for 11 years. These are not new people I've come across. This is not me flailing around on Google trying to find someone to lead us. No, this is people I know that I've spoken with personally. Like this is, it's different, you know? But it was interesting, just like a muggle thing. There was a lady that said something like, oh, she's interested in talking with spiritual women, but not conspiracy ones. And so I responded, I said, well, I'm an actual guru. I said, so I talk about conspiracy stuff, but it's the truth. That was it, you know? Like, it's not conspiracy anymore. The word conspiracy, you'll find when you watch these documentaries, was actually designed by these people to protect them from us finding out this shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Scapegoat was coming up in my head. Scapegoat, it's easy to, you know, hold the reflectors up so you don't really know where it is you need to look. And now it's like we get the opportunity to look. So, you know,
yeah, I'm just being told just to see if there's anything on here. Nightmares. Just see if there was any questions. Oh my God. I think that's it. I don't think there's any questions yet. So yeah, they made movies about this stuff and they're coming true. I don't know how to respond to that. So okay, so once you've watched the documentaries that I recommend under research in the highlights on Empress Evolution, then yes, you will know that there are documentaries that explain to you. The movies, the big budget movies, on the other hand, they are paid for by the cabal to actually create us to manifest that into real life, but we're not doing it. It's not working. So don't think that. Does that make sense? So it's like, yes, there's elements of truth in a lot of movies. Everything's the 80-20 rule, you know, 80% truth, 20% false, or 80% false, 20% true. Everything is that. Everything is that. The only thing that's 100% on this planet is love. Everything else is a mixture of 80-20, 20-80. But that's what makes it different. The documentaries I'm showing you, they're things where I literally agree with basically everything that's said, every syllable out of every mouth on everything. You know, listen to Eisenhower's granddaughter. That girl is a fucking don. She is a gangster. I'm telling you. Like, this girl is fucking amazing. She is brave as shit. Watch that. People need to like stop, because I feel like people are like giving opinions, but what they really need to do is just stop and learn this shit first. Learn it first. Like, because once they've learned it, they're now a teacher. They're now someone that can help spread the light. And I can hear a background thing. Is that your end, darling? No, it was really weird. It was like I could hear a third person here with us, like as if there was a person in the same room as you, mumbling. Isn't that weird?
That is super strange. No, there's definitely not anyone here.
That's what, yeah, I could hear them. It was really strange. Anyway, so yeah, so this is the key thing, guys. You know, just make sure you do the research and learn this stuff. And then once you've done it, you know what there is. And now you can move on to the other weeks, which again, I guess we do it one more time. So we got week 1, because a lot of people have been leaving and coming. Week 1, do the research, watch every one of the documentaries or YouTube videos that I have listed under the research on Empress Evolution, which is pinned there, Empress Evolution 1111. Watch every one of those. In fact, send me a message and say, hey, I've watched all of them. I'll give you a thumbs up, okay? So watch every one of them, guys. Next thing, then You might have to start repeating it for me because I'm just getting so tired.
Yeah, yeah.
Week 2.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just got distracted. Week 2. Now I don't know what I'm saying.
Okay, don't worry. So week 1 is learn and watch all of the documentaries through, watch them in the daytime, know then that your knowledge is about as complete as it needs to be for you to start spreading the knowledge. Week 2, I know because I don't even know, I'm getting myself exhausted.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna recap this so that people can watch it, but I will also create a highlight reel of everything that you've said. So with the week spread out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that people
Oh
can
yeah,
just
that
click
would
on
be
that.
good.
Yeah, then people can just click on that. I'll create the tiles. Come and
Mhm.
click on that, and then you can just
Oh, good. Oh,
screenshot
one of
them.
my girls is here. One of my girls is here. She was saying second week galactic and sovereign. So yeah, doing a bit of galactic history and looking up sovereignty and the guardian teachings. Thank you, my darling. So that's week 2, and then week 3. It's like my brain's gone dead. I'm telling you.
Week 3. How bad is it that I don't even know?
That's what I'm saying. Like literally, I think I repeated it 3 times because some of the
Yeah,
girls were making notes.
go to the beginning of the video, please, if you're watching this back, and I will
Because I think
screenshot
I
them
was
for you.
channeling it. That's why it's just gone now. So
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, those are the docos that you recommended, the Venus and the Zay.
oh, that's there for
Week
the Venus
4.
Project and Zeitgeist. There for once you're in week 4 and you're
Yeah,
doing
week
your
4.
healing.
Yeah, that's right. Week 4 is the integrating of the darkness.
Yeah, we've skipped week 3 though.
Yeah, I can't remember what was in that one.
Yeah, brain dead. Brain dead, guys. This is what happens when you just get this exhausted. But it all is listed at the beginning of this. So when we post this video, you can watch it and we give everything in great detail and you should make notes.
Yeah.
Does anyone have questions about anything particular? Because I haven't been on much lately, so I'm here right now if there's any urgent questions about
I had a
something.
question come in. So I did a question on my page for people to just pop in if there was anything they wanted support with. Someone specifically asked around nightmares. So they've been experiencing nightmares, how to set some things in place to, I guess, support them with that. Oh, awesome. Someone has notes.
Perfect. So the thing is there was a time a little while ago where I actually posted on Empress Evolution, hey guys, if you're having nightmares, don't make a big deal out of it. You know, like the new age period where we would all analyze our dreams and look them up in books and look for the signs and all that. I was saying, guys, just wake up and shake it off and be like it was just a dream. And the reason why is because, like I said, you know, we're earth angels. We're here to drive the darkness off the earth. And if you are someone that's actively either educating yourself or helping others or healing yourself, or someone who's actively not being a muggle, then you are going to attract the darkness in your dreams. And it's because it's the only time it can get to you. Because most of us are spiritually so powerful that it can't actually get to us in the daytime because our vibrations are too high. But we're a little bit vulnerable when we sleep. So with the nightmares, I would say the best thing is to look at it as part of the course. We live in duality. We live in a world where there's light and dark within and light and dark outside. Just wake up and be like, thank fucking God it was a nightmare. It wasn't true. Shake it off. Let's go have some breakfast. Don't go and recount all that happened. Don't sit there and draw pictures of it and tell people about it. Don't do that shit. Don't let it have that power. On the other hand, right now, the self-care part, again, if you are going to watch some of these things, if you're watching some of these documentaries, please do that in the morning or lunchtime and then be done for the day so that when you go to sleep at night, you're actually picturing some Hallmark movie or some kids movie or something in your brain, like, you know, or sit and do angelic meditation for an hour before bed. Do something that feels so light, so loved, so beautiful. So make sure that you're not, comedies, just whatever's going to make you feel light. Just keep it light. The evenings are for light time, okay?
Yeah.
And then at the same time, accept that right now we live in duality, and that the more good you're doing, the more kickback will happen, and it's not something to fear because we're more
Good. Mm-hmm.
and that the more good you're has to just get aware of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
But once
Mm-hmm.
you're aware of this shit, something to fear because we're more powerful than darkness. That's why it tries to fuck with us. So in which case it just gets to try to fuck with us. It doesn't get to really fuck with us unless someone actually allows it to, and that's actually choosing to and giving it power. If there's any urgent questions about
I had a question come in.
and whispers. The devil is a dickhead. All he has is lies and whispers. He ain't got shit. Okay? So long as you don't listen to the lies or the whispers, you have no problems. Don't listen to the lies and the whispers though, okay? Because they're in your own head most of the time, or they're around weak people that are around you that don't realize that the thoughts in their head are not their own. So be very aware of that, guys, okay? That's all the dark has, lies and whispers. So
Yeah.
um
And
and
I just wanted to,
we're
what you
moving
say?
out of duality. We're moving out of duality. So this is the birthing pains. You know, this is the birthing pains of our new earth. So accept the nightmares as just par of the course while we process and purge. They've been giving, my angels gave me some disgusting kind of ways to describe this stuff. This is more one for the women, but the men, I'll give an example for the men that's just as gross. But you know, when you go and have a facial and they use this metal and it like pulls all the pussy stuff out of your skin and it's the grossest thing ever, but then it leaves your skin all clean afterwards. That's what the earth's going through now. We are literally squeezing the pus and the yuck out so that it could all be cleansed away. And for men, it's like having a big acne spot with a big yellow head on it, and you squish it and the pimple and all the grr comes out. That's what Earth's going through right now. We're having a big squeezing spots session of the planet. Okay. But once they're all squeezed and all the yuck's out, we can clean it and we can clean it all up, and then we can heal and it can all be beautiful.
It's it. It's coming from the deepest of the deep now. It's not just superficial. Oh, we're cleaning. We you know, like that looks pretty on the outside, but on the inside, there's still all this stuff going on. It's going to be beautiful from the inside out,
Yes.
and that's
And
really
we've never
something.
had that. You know, when you watch these documentaries, you'll realize, you know, that all of the charities, or 99% of the big charities, were run by these satanic pedophiles. It's just, we're talking about, we sent money to these people, they went to Haiti and then went and used and found the orphans or the children and used them in sex crimes. I mean, what? What? So this is what I'm saying. Everyone has to just get aware of this shit. But once you're aware of this shit, then you move through those phases, you work on yourself, and then the very last thing is us integrating this all in together, but from a place as a galactic warrior, as a guardian of the planet, knowing that we need to just assimilate everything that's here because we can't be in denial of what's here, but we can certainly prevent any more bullshit from happening ever again, ever.
Absolutely. And someone said we're more powerful together, and then someone said I love you both, but thank you, we love you. And yeah, but we are more powerful together, and that's why you have an important role to play in this, and that's why you can't just sit back and be like, oh, someone else will do it. No, you need to step in and up. You need to join in with all of this. You need to go through your own processing so that you can be part of that collective, you know, togetherness where we are so much more powerful, because it is not up to those that are just awake right now. those of you
We
that
are
aren't
one.
awake, yeah, we all, like, you have a job to play. You get to be a part of this. And I know that there are lots of people sitting on the edge right now that are kind of like, I know that I need to go over there, but am I brave enough? Am I good? Yes, because you've got people like us that have already held the space for you to come and join us.
Mhm.
And yeah, we've got to process our own stuff within all of this, but remember where you're going, because it isn't just about you, it is about the collective. And that gives you the sustenance to move through it as well. Because I find often when we just do it for ourselves, yes, it's big, but it's not as big as when it's for, you know, something bigger than ourselves.
Hold on, this is an important question. But in the
Yeah.
process of becoming aware of this, are we overcoming this and ensuring that our future will be free of the cabal? Absolutely. They're fucked. They are so
Yeah,
fucked.
because
They're completely fucked. Like, honestly, we have, like, I was even told, like, because of who I am on the spiritual plane, like, it's okay for me to really, really speak out now because there's
Mhm.
protection in the chaos. Those motherfuckers are running for the hills. They have been caught with their pants down and their tongue
Mhm.
sticking out. They're fucked. All of them.
Mhm.
They're
Mhm.
absolutely fucked. They're scared. They're fucked. They're weak and they're unprotected and they're all ratting on each other. They're all biting each other. They're disgusting humans and it's all going to be cleared out and everything is going to be good and we are going to be fine, people.
Mhm.
But just share the information. You have a job. All
Yeah.
of you know people. All of
Mhm.
you know 20 or 30 other human beings.
Mhm.
How many? What percentage of those 20 to 30 human beings that you know have you informed?
Mhm.
First of all, have you informed yourself?
Mhm.
Once you've informed yourself, because you can't inform other people if you don't know shit and you don't know what you're doing. So go and
Mhm.
watch the documentaries listed on Empress Evolution where it says research. Once
Mhm.
you've watched them, then start sharing the information and ask yourself, what percentage of the people I know have I shared with?
Mhm.
Okay? And what percentage do you think is fair?
Mm.
So for me, I have shared with my brothers. I've shared with my mum verbally. I've shared with my brother that lives at my dad's house, who's the most likely one to be able to talk sense to my dad. God bless him.
Mhm.
And then obviously every other person on the planet just gets it from me full on, no holds barred. Like, I don't
Mhm.
care. It's happening.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I'm not expecting you to maybe be like 98% of the people on your 20 to 30 list, but you know, I think between 15 and 50% of the people you know
Mhm.
would be at
Mhm.
least a good start. But
And it's,
eventually,
yeah,
should be
and
able to, but
sometimes it's,
eventually.
but sometimes just the invitation, people don't know, they might not be ready for it right now, but in a week's time or 2 weeks time, when things start to escalate a little more, they might be like, oh, they sent me that thing, maybe now I'm ready to actually look at it. So don't think just because they're not acting on it immediately that they're not going to do it at some stage. So I think the invitation extending is important.
So here's the thing, people say it's not meant for everyone. Unless the human being you're talking about currently lives with their head literally buried in the sand and their ass in the air and they never see anything and they're not exposed to billboards or adverts or radio, that they live in a hermit's hut in the middle of nowhere with no running water and no electricity, unless they're those people, because those people we can leave them alone. We'll leave the indigenous people to it, okay? But if
Mm-hmm.
you're talking about someone who owns a television, then they need to know. Why
Yeah.
do they need to know? Because this shit's going to be on the television. But when
Mm-hmm.
it's delivered by the television, it's not going to be delivered in as gentle way as if you, their friend that loves and cares about them, who's there to gently spoon feed them
Mm-hmm.
trusted documentaries and
Mm-hmm.
answer their questions and hug them through the shock. So
Mm-hmm.
doesn't it make more sense for you to love them through the process now as opposed to letting them hear it on the news and
Mm-hmm.
losing their fucking plot?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone doesn't have a sound mind. But again, if they have a television, they're going to hear it. So the only option is say, okay, well, you're just going to let the news take care of it. Okay, then if they haven't got a sound mind now,
Gonna set them off
they're going
even
to
more.
lose the fucking
Yeah.
plot when they see it on television.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the gentle wake up or the rough awakening. I'm being shown it like how you wake a child and you're like, come on, darling, it's time to wake up. And then you imagine in like the in the army when you get woken up in the night and they throw water on you, then I get that back out of bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the difference. So that's what the news is going to be like. The news is going to be panic, shock. So it's better to hear from a loved one with solidarity and unity than alone in front of the TV. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. And when we have gone through our process ourselves, we have the ability to hold that space. You know, so make sure that you do it first and then extend the invitation so that you can play the role in holding of space, because that is going to be your job for your inner circle. And that's how we all get to move through this together, is that we have people that have been shying back from their ability to hold space to actually doing that now, because there are so many light workers and so many people that are capable of doing this work that haven't been doing it.
Yeah.
So now is your time to also step up and play the role that you came here to play, because it's not enough to just sit back and go, I know that I've got this within me, but I'm still not utilizing it.
There's no option now. Again, you know, in 2009, when I learned about this stuff, I tried to tell everybody and most people thought I was nuts. I sent it to everyone on my email list, including my landlord.
Oh.
So yeah, back then, it was different. Here's the thing. This year, the media is being dismantled and it will stop being fake news and it will be real news, and they will be talking about this stuff and they will be lining these people up. And it's happening. I mean, I can't explain it. It's like a tidal wave. It's coming.
Yeah. And it's just what side of it are you going to be on? Are you going to be swimming?
Are you in a boat? Are you on a surfboard?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just picturing like you're over the hump and you can kind of just see it like rolling into all the buildings and everyone's standing, like, you know that it's there. So are you going to ride the wave and are you going to go with it? Or are you going to sit there and just try and hold on to what was? Because that's not an option. It's going to get washed away.
You're going to end up with your face smashed on the, you know, it's not going to be good.
Moving with it is a much nicer way to go through this process, and a much more empowering way as well, because again, you have a role to play here. I cannot emphasize that enough. That just keeps coming back around. The message I got before we came on was the only way out is through. Yeah. And I liken it to anything that you've experienced before in your life that was a challenge. You couldn't run from that. There's been something, I'm certain, for everyone on this call that has had something where they couldn't get away from it. They needed to move through it to get to the other side. And draw on that, because that is exactly what's happening here. You need to move through it. There is no other way, because you are part of this new earth, because you wouldn't be here if you weren't. You know, we are going towards something else that we've never had before, but you need to be willing to come along, because either way, but how you want to experience this next passage of time is totally up to you. And if you're here watching this, it means that you are ready to actually actively participate and not just wait for everything to come out in the vulgar ways that it potentially is going to, because right now we are giving you an opportunity to sit with that and actually process it rather than being forced into it. So that would be really...
This is voluntary. It's like voluntary, like you're volunteering to assimilate the information, whereas with the news it's going to be literally forced down people's throats and they won't be able to run from it. So you know, the thing that's interesting again is anyone that's like, oh but it's because you haven't watched the stuff I'm telling you to watch yet. When you watch the stuff I tell you to watch, you'll know exactly who to send it to. That's what you've been waiting for. That's what's missing. What's been missing is the right documentaries, the Out of Shadows documentary, the interview with Sacha Stone and Simon Parkes, the interview with Simon Parkes and Magenta Pixie, the granddaughter of Eisenhower, the president. These are the things, the fall of the cabal. Do those 5, you're done, you're good. You don't need to do any more shit. You ain't got to spend your life trying to pretend to be like some special like Inspector Morse trying to collect up all the data. It's been done for you. And guess what? These YouTube videos, some of them were released 48 hours ago. This shit's new, it's up to date, it's relevant. those 2011 days when people were having to like clamber around and find this shit, it's over. It's all been done for you. You just got to press play now on YouTube. That's all you got to do. Like literally the comprehensive list is there, guys. Like it's there. Like do that list, you're done. It's things are simple now. And one thing I am being told to say, though, is be aware that the darkness is real. There's light and dark within, there's light and dark without. So really don't just go and click on everything blindly on YouTube, especially late at night, and just start watching shit, because you might get exposed to something that really isn't what you need to get exposed to. There's two particular videos that I've been told that I'm really, really glad. The video, Fall of the Cabal, the woman actually tells you, if you get the opportunity to watch these videos, do not do it. Do not do it, because it will scar you for life. It will traumatize you. What we are hoping to do here is educate you. We do not want to traumatize you. So have a very significant amount of self-love and boundaries. There is a video of Podesta beating and raping a boy at the Pizzagate place, the Comet Ping Pong. There's a video of him raping a boy in a shower and the boy screaming. You do not need to expose yourself to that video, guys, okay? There's also a video of Hillary Clinton mutilating with that dark-haired lady that was her assistant. I can't remember her name, but Podesta's wife or whatever, Uma or something. There is a video of Hillary Clinton actually mutilating and sexually abusing a young girl. Again, you do not need to expose yourself to this shit. You are earth angels, you're angels, you are pure love and light. You do not need to expose it. It's enough just to know that it happened. That's all you need to know. It happened. Don't push yourself too far, guys. Okay? This is
you don't get any badges of honor for doing that. You just need to, like we've continually been circling back around to, you need to be aware, then you need to go through the process. So everything that Amelia touched on earlier with the 5 weeks, I'll recap that for you. I'll put it in a highlight so that you can see it, so that you can screenshot it, and that you can know what your plan is, your game plan for the next 5 weeks. You have a role to play, and it is very strategic. There are things that you need to step through in order to, you know, fully integrate and to allow yourself to move up into that next level, which we need you to be in order for us to all be able to carry this together, because that is where the power lies.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's something that we were talking about at the beginning. It's like, it's no more letting anyone else carry the weight. Let's carry our own fair share. Let's work on our own demons and our own healing, and let's work on our own learning, and let's do our job to educate people. And you know, let's all just start taking responsibility for our share. And so you're responsible for all the people that are in your contact list, that are your close circle of friends. They're your responsibility. They're not mine. They're yours. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any recommendations for shields of protection after watching these?
You don't need them, honey. You are a guardian. You are an earth angel and a guardian. You are so much bigger, more powerful, and filled with light. The darkness needs protecting from you. You're scary as fuck to the darkness. The darkness is so scared of you. You don't need protection. As long as you watch the ones that I've suggested, stop and take a break when you need to. You do it in the daytime. But yes, there are protection, but you shouldn't need it from watching this, because again, you're the scary one. Us waking up is why they're scared. We don't have anything to be scared about. Back in 2011, when I learned this stuff and I could see no solution, it was a bit scary then. For you guys, we're in the midst of the solution. Every one of these videos and documentaries, if you see them from the beginning to the end, they end positively. They end abruptly with very positive, strong, positive news. And the other thing I was being told to say is, we're giving you a 5-week plan, but it consists of like an hour a day for 5 days and 2 days off. So an hour a day for the next 5 weeks on the weekdays only. And the weekends, just go outside and kick a football or do something. I don't know, just do something. That's nice.
Fun.
Yes, exactly. So the thing is, yes, there is a protection meditation. I mean, Mattia, you're in the Violet group, which so you just contact June. But there is a 12-dimensional shielding video that we can send out to you guys. The Violet Flames all have access to it because June has access to it. So the Violet Flames sprinkle that shit around like confetti. and make sure everybody has it. There's another one. I'm trying to think of another one. That's the main one. But understand that your connection and love of God and knowing that God is with you, you're walking around literally with God with you. Like, the darkness is scared of us. We are not scared of the darkness. You just have to understand that you are the power. You are the guardian. They're scared of us waking up. We've already woken up. We're like giants. They've woken up. The giants have started waking up. They're like, fuck. They're all having surgery and trying to run away to private islands right now because the giants have woken up. Understand, they're not the scared ones. They are.
The thing that dropped in as well was declaration. So declaring what it is. Like, if you say that this is not, you're not going to partake in that, then that's it.
I am sovereign. I am free. I am God. I am loved. You are not welcome here. Go the fuck away. There you are.
Yeah.
Let them know.
So that's it. You know, declare it and then let it be that. You don't have to think about it anymore. It doesn't have to be anything more than that. Boundary, done.
Yeah. Just we're like, literally, we are the light. We are the light. So just knowing that God is with you and that you are a piece of God and that you are here to be part of this movement and to be part of this that's happening on the planet now. And you are divinely protected. You are safe. You are good. And just know you won't feel like this forever as well. This happens while, you know, it's an interesting thing to move through, but that's why you get it done in the first week. And then you guess what? After that, you're done. Like I said, you can keep an eye on simonparks.org to see if there's anything happening. But other than that, you don't really need to do anything after that to maintain what you do in week 1. You watch those 5 documentaries in week 1, you're good. That's it.
Yeah. And then the work is just you keeping yourself steady, you looking after yourself, you showing up, you expressing your work, because if you are activated and initiated by this, you need to go out there and actually become an advocate and a voice for this stuff. It's not then just, oh yeah, wow, I know all this stuff now and I'm just going to go, like, no, then there is work to do, but it's from a place of you showing up, and it will feel empowering. You will feel fulfilled and fueled by it. You will want to get out there. So that will be the thing that happens after the 5 weeks for many, I feel, from this process. So
absolutely, even after week one, after you've watched those 5 documentaries, you're now actually like I said, you're now a teacher.
Yeah.
You watch those 5 things, you're a teacher. You get into week 2 where you start learning about sovereignty and galactic history. I'm telling you, you're a motherfucker now. You are actually scary to the dark side, because now you know all that, and you know that. Then you get to week 3 and you start working on your self-love and things like that. And then you're working on forgiveness of self and stuff. You're just becoming more and more of a scary animal every week, to the point where by the end of it, by week 5, you are a fucking beast. And that's what we want, you know? So, because this is war, but we're winning, and it's done for them. But we just have to go through this process, and we can only rise at the level of consciousness of the rest of the planet. So that's why right now, job number 1 is learn and share, heal, learn, share, heal yourself and others. You know,
because it's that tipping point. Once we get more people, like the more that are like, even if there's a particular percentage of the population that need to wake up to this in order for it to affect the collective.
We've already met that. We've met that.
Yeah. So now it's happening at such a fast rate that it is just like, I just picture it, light bulb, light bulb, light bulb, light bulb, light bulb, light bulb, and it's happening around the globe.
Basically, if you want to live in a new earth with free energy and clean food and clean environment and removal of all nastiness on earth, then hurry up and do the steps that we've said, because this is how we bring it in. So
okay, amazing. I'm just getting a little
we need to run out of time. We love you guys.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. And go back to the start of the video and I'll highlight everything we've spoken about so that you can revisit what you need to be doing for the next 5 weeks.
Definitely. Love you.
Okay, love you.
Bye.